guy was the new owner of a baseball team that was in the basement of the league when he took it over. He went to the pitcher and he said, what is your best throw? He said, well, I got a good curveball and I've got a good fastball. And he went on talking about his different throws. He said, but tell me this, what is your best throw? He thought for a moment. He said, I've got a good fastball. He said, that's all I want you to work on. Nothing else. Just develop your fastball. The next year, they went to the World Series. Most people don't know where their fastball is. Most people go through life never discovering what their talents are. Most people never develop their talents. They have skills and abilities, but if you don't nurture them, if you don't develop them, they will never serve you. Your gifts can take you many places if you develop your gifts. And you'll be surprised at the things that you're able to do. When you learn how to block things out, when you learn how to keep thine eyes single, learning how to concentrate, learning how to focus in, deciding that you're going to focus to develop your skills, you'll be surprised at the ideas that will come to you, of the people that you'll be able to attract, of the opportunities that you'll be able to see. You'll begin to see things that have been standing there looking you in the face saying, I can't believe this has been here all this time. But you can learn all the techniques in the world. If you don't believe in yourself, it won't happen for you. You got to focus on you. And as you convince you, as you sell yourself every day, you will begin to see a difference in the things that you're doing. Selling yourself on your ability to perform a job, to achieve a certain objective. Telling yourself every day, here I go again. And I got what it takes. This is my day, and nothing out here is going to stop me. Decide that you're going to push yourself. You have something that you brought to the universe. And that if you decide that my life deserves my developing this what I do well, and becoming the best at it, and mastering myself, and seeing what I have within me, I grant you that your gifts will take you places that will literally amaze you. So you've got to work on it. When other folk are having a good time, you've got to have the strength of character to concentrate, to read, to digest information.
Never, ever allow anybody to make you feel bad about being so blessed when you've worked your ass off to get it. You decided all the clubs, partying, hanging out, popping bottles with models, and all that that ain't for me. I'm gonna be out here running in the hot sun, practicing, playing basketball, shooting on weekends while everybody else is clubbing and hanging out. You got your focus right.
As you begin to develop and expand your skills and your talents and your vision of yourself, you will always be in control of your destiny.
Don't live frustrated, thinking that there's something wrong with you, trying to prove to them who you are, trying to convince them to affirm you. Let it go. There's nothing wrong with you. If you had to have it, they would give it. Since you don't, shake it off, keep your head held high. Your value doesn't come from people, it comes from your Creator.
Either you take on the shape of your environment or you resist it and transform by the renewing of your mind. Everything you've ever changed about your life started in your head. It started in your head. It started in your mind. It started with a decision. It all starts in your mind.
What we think is the best many times is far less than what God has in mind. You haven't seen your best days. You may feel stuck. Doors have closed. That all happened for a reason. The best part of your life is not behind you. The best part of your life is the next part of your life. You wouldn't be discouraged over that door that closed if you knew what God was about to open. You haven't seen or imagined what God has in store.
I must be inclined that it's somebody who's holding back on a decision, holding back on moving forward, and you're holding back because of fear. Fear of being rejected, being replaced, fear of people that you want to accept, you won't accept you, fear of moving out. When fear controls you, your decisions become illogical. And it's a problem because God is not the author or the generator of fear.
So feeling safe and feeling secure is very important to me, and I think it's very important to every single person. I think that God created us to feel safe, secure, confident, and bold. Your soul maybe has it blocked, but God did not create you for fear and worry and insecurity and a lack of confidence and extreme shyness and extreme timidity.
You will become whatever you cultivate. Whatever you feed, that's what's going to grow in your life. I'm saved, but I got to change my diet. I'm saved, but I got to change who influences me, who speaks into my life, who feeds my mind, who determines what looks good on me, who determines what I can do and who I am. What's wrong with you is all those people who knew you win. Because if they knew you win, they'll hold you to back then. I gotta go.
Too many people looking for identity and value, and they're looking for it in all the wrong places. They look for it in what they do, who they know, what they own, what they look like. And I think that we need to do our best to look as good as we can. All I can say is take what God's given you and do the best you can with it. But don't be comparing yourself with somebody else.
I become confident when I get the right view of other people and I get the right view of myself. It's amazing, right? You ever notice that arrogance requires advertising, but confidence speaks for itself? In fact, insecurity, cynicism, and arrogance, they're all loud. But confidence doesn't even have to speak, because confidence isn't based on your words. Confidence is an action. It's an ability to step into the moment and say, I'm not backing down, I'm not quitting, I got my confidence back, and I can fulfill.
Your tongue is the rudder for your life. It's determining the direction. Next time you're tempted to say something negative about yourself, your future, your finances, zip it up. Don't steer yourself toward defeat. Say not, you're too young. Say not, you can't accomplish your dreams. God wouldn't have given them to you if you weren't well able.
Success is all about building relationships. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Some people might not step up when you ask them for help. But guess what? The worst thing can happen to you. If somebody refuses you, you didn't have it anyway. Ask people. You never know. Suppose they say yes. That could be the turning factor.
You will travel in the direction of your thinking. If you think down, you will go down. If you think up, you will come up. The way you think about your situation determines your reality. The way you think about your family determines your reality. The way you think about yourself. You're not being hurt by the way people think about you. Many of those people are a reflection of how you think about you. If you think about yourself a certain way, you will attract people who think about you a certain way. And you will expel from your life people who do not line up with how you think about yourself. The mind then becomes the battleground. The mind, Satan is always trying to do battle to take over your mind with warfare. Some of you is fighting your thoughts right now.
Know your worth. Don't let nobody else determine it. People aren't mind readers. They don't know what you're thinking. Don't assume they know unless you ask with specifics. And then recognize that no is not a rejection. Every time you hear no, it moves you one step closer to a yes. Everybody can't say that. Now, unless you got a harebrained idea. And just remember that success is about building a world that looks the way you want it to, nobody else.
I want to begin the process of deserving. What would that be? What process should I begin engaging in to deserve good health, to deserve a good relationship? What must I do to begin the process of deserving?
There's enough people that are telling us we can't do it, that we're not good enough. Why do we want to tell ourselves that? We know for a fact that thoughts influence actions. We need to get our own self-affirmations. There need to be quiet moments in your bedroom, quiet moments when you're brushing your teeth, that we need to reaffirm, I am the captain of my ship and the master of my fate.
If you don't know who you are, you'll discount yourself. Thinking, oh man, I'm ordinary, nothing much to offer, nothing special about me. Now life will try to make you feel like you're anything but amazing. Disappointments, betrayals, rejection will try to steal your sense of value. But all through the day, despite what thoughts are telling you, despite who left you out, you need to remind yourself, I am amazing. I have been wonderfully made. Don't go around feeling ordinary when in fact you're extraordinary. People may try to make you feel average. You don't have much to offer. Are you going to believe what people say about you or believe what God says about you? You're amazing. Have you ever said that to yourself? It has to start on the inside.
If people can understand that as long as they don't forgive, they're poisoning themselves. It's like me being mad at somebody who hurt me that's out having a good time and don't even care that I'm mad. That doesn't hurt them. It's pointless. It's like, okay, you hurt me, but now if I'm going to hate you, then I'm letting you continue to hurt me. And you're controlling my life, and I'm not going to do that.
It is your values. It is your ethics. It is how you make choices that get you promoted. It is not your strength. It is not your talent. It is not how you fight. It is not how you draw. It is not your intellectualism. It is your values. So that when you're backed up against the wall and you have to make a decision, true leadership is how you make decisions in the moment. What do you care the most about? Being seen or being connected?
Doors of opportunity are open to those who continually knock. So we don't find open doors of opportunity because we need them. We find them because we deserve them. Only those who knock deserve to find an opening. It's as if you search, you will find. Finding is reserved for the searchers because they deserve it. Now, at first they may have needed it. They now know that just needing it is not sufficient. The reason why you're going to be blessed with good ideas is because you've come searching. And for those who search, they will find answers. To find a good idea, you must go looking. Rarely does a good idea interrupt you. So we get not what we need, but we get what we deserve. It says if you ask, someone has an answer. If you keep asking, the answers belong to you. So we don't get what we need, we get what we deserve.
When the crisis is on and you have to make a decision, and it is a tough decision, what you choose tells me what you value. It is not a matter of rights and wrongs, it's a matter of priorities.
And when people ask, is there a difference between people who are living at a higher level, who are at peace, and the rest of us who are not at peace? They know we all have peaceful thoughts, and so do enlightened people. They have peaceful thoughts. The only difference is that they have nothing else. They don't have all of this other stuff that goes with it. All of the anger, all of the judgment, all of the fears, all of the anxiety, the stuff that we have come to believe is just a part of our lives. The self-reproachment. We have a tendency to think that this is normal. It's only normal.
Life is hard. See, it's hard when you're 49 years old, been working on a job for 17 years, and they come in and tell you you're finished and give you 1 week severance pay. And you got to start all over again. It's hard when you're married and raising children and your children are crawling and your husband dies unexpectedly. It's hard handling just the tragedies of life. It's hard when you're working on something and you put everything you have in it and it doesn't work out. You lose your money and other people's money. It's hard.
The fact that many people become discouraged when they use affirmations, they listen to tapes, they read books, they do all of the things that are required of them to develop their consciousness, and things still don't happen. They affirm, I can do it, yes I can, and yes I will. I'm blessed and highly favored, and nothing happens, and they become frustrated. They become discouraged and disillusioned, and they quit.
I had like $106 in the bank, and I had to sell my dog, and things were not looking very, very good. My $40 car had just blown up, so I was taking a bus to work. I had no film history, no real film knowledge. I was just working. So often I had gone to fight films or sporting films. Yes, we're going to go out there, we're going to knock them out, you're going to win. I said, no, I'm not going to win. I'm going to get destroyed. If I can just be lucid, if I can still be standing on my feet, you know what, then life isn't so bad. And I think at the very end of our lives, if we can still say, you know, we were never humbled, we were knocked down, but we got up, and I can say, I lived life with integrity, and I took all the blows, and I still prevailed, then you feel as though you're invincible. You can take all that life has to dish out.
Life is going to happen. And you're going to set up a plan, and you're going to have a vision, and you're going to hope that it's going to turn out perfect. But what so often happens in life is that things get burned. And things go the wrong way. And it's in that moment that you're going to have to choose your reaction. You have a choice to make.
Some of you are in the darkest of darkest valleys. I don't know what you're going through, but I know what you need. Hope. And I want you to know that beautiful things can come from your broken pieces when you give your broken pieces a chance.
It is okay to be scared. It is okay to cry. But giving up is not.
There's going to come a time in your life when you reach your lowest point, where your friends are nowhere around. If you have family, they can't help you, and it seems like there's no light at the end of your tunnel. Now you're gonna feel defeated, but I'm gonna tell you right now today, not to give up.
When you get into a tight spot and everything goes against you until it seems that you cannot hold on for a minute longer, never give up then, for that is just the place and time that the tide will turn.
Everything you're going through is preparing you for what you ask God for. You just got to quit tripping while you're in the process, because the process is necessary. You may not see it now, but when he gets you on the other side of it, you're going to see exactly why it went that way, and you're going to be okay with it. Pull yourself together and quit tripping, because you're in the process. God is processing you. He ain't through with you. If he was through with you, you would not wake up in the morning.
There's going to be things that go on that are out of your control. The worst thing you can do is let something that's out of your control you. Get control of yourself, get control of your emotions. Don't get angry, don't get frustrated. Instead, stay calm and figure out how to move forward.
All you do is you fall down, get back up again, fall down, get back up again, fall down, get back up again.
And it doesn't matter how you get knocked down in life, because that's going to happen. All that matters is that you got to get up.
The sun doesn't shine every day. The storms will come. There will be times when the darkness seems to consume everything.
When life seems like it's at its worst, you can't see the prosperity that is hiding right behind it. You can't look past the clouds and the storm that you're currently in. Well, you and I both know that whenever a storm is over, the sun always comes out.
But don't let it consume you. Even in the darkest times, even in the strongest storms, even when the sun is blotted out and the world is falling apart, the darkness cannot extinguish your light. No matter what is happening, no matter how hard the fight is, as long as you keep fighting, you win.
Your hardships, your challenges, your situation will either be
the reason you don't make it, or it will be the story you tell when you do make it, and you get to make that choice.
Only surrender is defeat. Only quitting is the end. Fight on. It is time for you to fight harder, to dig in, to go on the warpath, to assess what the problems are and decide which one you are going to attack first. Then, attack. It will be easy. In fact, it will be hard. Life is hard. That's what life is. And these challenges that you face, they are going to do their best to take you down. Do not let them.
I don't care if you have to inch your way day by day. Even if you have to get down and it hurts and it's hard and nobody can see what you're really going through. If you don't quit, the pit will become your platform. I'm telling somebody right now, your lowest moment will be the place of your greatest testimony.
I don't care how dark it looks for you. I don't care what they done said to you. I don't care what the verdict is. I don't care what the haters say. It ain't over. No matter what happens to you, it ain't over. Ain't no such a thing as over. Do you know, man, that you can actually mess your life completely up? You can jack it all the way up, and you can turn around and get it right. Do you know that you can be divorced multiple times and still be okay? Do you understand that you cannot have a degree and still be just fine?
If you're struggling right now and you're having a hard time and you're pissed off and you're frustrated, know two things. One, you're not alone. Two, this is necessary for you to get where you want to go. And if you quit, if you falter, if you stop, all the pain will be for nothing. And you need to remember that.
When you feel like giving up, don't. When you're thinking about giving up, don't. When it look like you ain't gonna make it, keep going. When they tell you you can't, come on, man, who are they? When they tell you to put all your stuff back on your desk, don't do that, man. Don't do that. When they tell you you're not gonna make it, don't believe them, man. Don't believe them. You got to be relentless.
You're not a manager of your life, you're a creator of your life, or you wouldn't be in this room. How do you create your life? You get hungry for something, don't you? You decided there's something you wanted so bad that you unleashed all your desire. You became obsessed with it. If there's something you once envisioned and now it's real, it's because you didn't just envision it, you brought so much emotion to it that now it's in your life. It was once a dream, it was once a goal, and now it's in your life. Wherever focus goes, energy flows.
Line up those problems, confront them, face them, fight them. Do not let them. And you keep fighting no matter what. And you never quit. You never quit.
I want to say to you, get up. Your future is brighter than your past. Get up. Your latter is greater than your former. I want to say to every person in this room, get up, because the best is still yet to come.
Maybe about 18 years ago, I bought this house, and I kept getting these insane water bills. The water bills were just insane. Like, why are these water bills so crazy? I'm a single man living in this house. Anyway, my neighbor told me I needed to dig a well. So I called this guy over to come, an engineer. He comes out, and we're walking the yard, and he's putting out all of these orange flags as to all these places he thinks that we could find water. As he's digging one, I said, okay, go ahead. So as he starts digging this one well, didn't hit anything. So then he goes on to the next one. Little flag, he's digging, never hits water. He goes to the next one, never hits water, and I keep having to pay these bills, and I got so frustrated, I said, never mind, I'll just keep paying the water bill, because I'm not gonna do this. A few months passed, I still get these crazy water bills, so what I decided to do was call him back. So he comes back out, I said, you dig right here, this well, and you dig and you don't stop until you hit water. So he starts digging. He gets down to about 800 feet. He said, we haven't hit water. This is pretty deep. I was like, you keep going. Gets down a little deeper, still has not hit water. I was like, you keep going, you keep going. He said, okay, we're gonna take the night off. We're over 1,000 feet deep. We'll be back in the morning. That night I thought about it. I said, you know what? I'm just wasting money. I'm not gonna do it. As soon as he gets in the morning, I'm gonna tell him to stop digging. That morning he comes out, he starts the machine. I'm on my way down to him. The machine starts. He was 4 inches away from the water that I needed. Why am I telling you all this? Why am I talking about digging for water? In this world, we're all digging wells. In our lives, we're digging wells. We're digging wells in relationships where we put all this time and effort and energy, and sometimes it doesn't give us what we need. We put all our time and effort and energy in our dreams and our business, and it doesn't give us what we need or what we were after. But if you just keep digging, my God, if you could just hear me right now, just keep digging. You may be 4 inches away from every gift and every blessing that you've ever wanted in your life. Had I given up when I was homeless, when I was sleeping in my car, when I was hungry, had I given up, these people that you see on this screen right now would not be a part of my dream. There are people who are tied into your dream and your destiny, and you are worthy of getting to your goal. Keep digging. Don't stop.
When I first started telling jokes, I made $25 a night. The first year in comedy, I made $3,000. The third year, I made about $7,200. I became homeless. I lived in a car for 3 years because I wasn't making enough money. But guess what? I kept telling them $25 jokes till they started paying me $250 a night. I kept telling them $25,000 jokes till they started paying me $75,000 a night. Them the same $25 jokes. They ain't nothing but English. I just kept repetition over and over and over, and keep praying about it. I kept praying about it. I kept leaning on my mama. She said, he didn't bring you this far to leave you. You know, I could have gave up a long time ago. I just kept fighting. God is gonna come through and do what he say he gonna do, but it all happens at an appointed time. But you have to stay in faith for the appointed time to happen for you. I've been wanting to be on TV since I was 10 years old. You know how old I was before I got on TV? 38. 28 years after I wrote it on the paper. I won't be on TV. It took me 28 years to get on TV. But it happened at an appointed time. I just never gave up the faith. I kept going because I didn't know how to quit. Because I know if I quit, it cannot happen. But if you stay with it, you have no idea what can happen for you.
Now, how do you hang in there during the hard, difficult times? You must have faith. You've got to believe in your abilities, your ideas, unquestionably. You've got to have faith, and that faith gives you patience. A lot of things are going to happen that will catch you off guard. And so therefore you've got to deal with and handle it as it comes. You've got to keep moving and keep plugging away. So how long you been working on this? And you have nothing to show. This is all you got to show. People are going to do that to you. And some people, ladies and gentlemen, they stop. You got to keep on watering your dream. And when it began to happen, they stopped laughing. They said, look, hey man, you know, I know you can do it. Look, you got a job here. See, during those hard times, when you fell and things didn't work out, they were nowhere to be found. When you're working at your dream, somebody said the harder the battle, the sweeter the victory. See, when it's hard and there's a struggle, see, what you become in the process is more important than the dream. The kind of person you become, the courage that you develop, the faith that you're manifesting. You know it was hard, but you did it hard.
If you're going to fulfill your destiny, you have to have a made-up mind that no matter what comes against you, no matter how many times you get knocked down, you are not going to stay down. You're going to keep pressing forward, looking for your next victory. The people that succeed are not necessarily the most talented, they are the most determined. When they fail, they don't see that as final. They learn from it and try again. And in life, there's always something coming against us. Disappointments, unfair situations. And too many people just give up and think, well, it just wasn't meant to be. No, if you're going to experience God's best, you have to have a warrior mentality. Your attitude should be, if I have to stand in faith my whole lifetime, I am not going to give up on what God has put in my heart. God did not create us to give up when it gets hard. The right spirit is to say, yes, I'm having some big challenges, but I know I serve a big God. But some of you today, you've allowed your circumstances to push you down. Now you're tempted to give up on what God's placed in your heart. But I'm asking you to dig your heels in and say, no, I will not give up on my dreams. I will not give up because somebody did me wrong. I will not give up because it's taken longer than I thought. I'm going to become everything God's created me to be, and I'm going to have everything God intended for me to have. As long as God has given me breath to breathe, I'm going to keep pressing forward, believing for His very best. I don't understand why this has happened to me. Why was I raised in a negative environment? I don't know why, but I do know this. Nothing that has happened to you can keep you from your God-given destiny. You can take the hand you've been dealt and win with it. God would not have allowed it unless He had a divine purpose. And if you will shake off the self-pity, then God will not only bring you out, but He's promised He will bring you out better off than you were before. I have a friend that's had cancer 3 times. I've never once seen him down and defeated. He has this never say die attitude. He's not focused just on what medical science says. He's focused on what God says. His attitude is, this too shall pass. It's not permanent. It's only temporary. Sickness cannot stay in my body. I'm a temple of the Most High God. He has this holy determination. No matter how long it's taken, he's unshakable, immovable. He's got a made-up mind. Most people, while they're waiting to take the treatment, they just relax, take it easy to get prepared. Not this young man. Every day he'd go out and work out, run. All the while he was envisioning himself healthy and whole. And today he's totally healthy and whole, completely cancer-free. You've got to have a never say die attitude. There may be some bumps along the way. Every setback is a setup for a greater comeback. And if you will stay in faith, God will turn every battlefield into a blessing field. A new season is coming your way. Winter always gives way to spring. A brighter season is right around the corner. Don't give up on a dream just because you don't see anything happening and it looks dead. Your new season could start tomorrow. You could see things start to blossom in your life this coming week. Things take off in your finances, in your health. Your strength comes back. You feel good once again. What happened? The season changed. Looked like it was never work out, but you stepped into a new season. God has seasons of promotion, blessing, and favor in your future you've never seen before. Now you've got to do your part and get in agreement with God. Anybody can quit. Anybody can get discouraged because it's taken a long time. But it takes a man or woman of great faith to say, it looks like my dreams have died, nothing is going my way, but I am not moved by what I see. I'm moved by what I know. I know I would not have breath to breathe if God didn't have another victory in my future. You can't allow the setbacks of life cause you to get numb and become indifferent. The right spirit says, this may be difficult, but I know I've been armed with strength for every battle. Life may have treated me unfair, but I know God will pay me back for every injustice.
It's time to stay focused. Rub elbows with everybody so people can stop calling you weird. Why are you so antisocial? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you out there practicing in the hot sun when ain't nobody else out there? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you not clubbing like every time I text you and invite you to go do something fun and cool, you always studying? because I'm trying to get it.
All of us, at some time or another, have agonized over making a decision. And also there are a lot of small decisions that we don't make, that they tax our minds, they drain our energy. They create a lot of anxiety and nervousness because we don't take care of it. We decide not to decide, which is a decision. Deciding to decide, to act, is a major, major challenge for all of us.
How many of you know that we live in a day and age right now where everybody has their eyes set on getting there? We all have a purpose, we all have a mission. Hopefully you're in this room today, hopefully you have a vision for your life. But many times on our way to the vision, on our way to the purpose, we discount the places along the way.
Everything you're going through is preparing you for what you ask God for. You just got to quit tripping while you're in the process, because the process is necessary. You may not see it now, but when he gets you on the other side of it, you're going to see exactly why it went that way, and you're going to be okay with it.
Ask yourself the question, what would your life be like? What would your life look like if you decided not to care what people thought of you?
Listen at this. It's not just that people step over you when you're in that acorn stage. Sometimes you step over you because you're so busy trying to compete with the trees that you haven't gone through the process of the acorn. Give it some time. Give it some water. Give it some focus, and you'll reap a harvest.
People who are leaders always have a great dream. They're thinking ahead. They're planning ahead. It's a dream that drives you. It affects how you talk. It affects how you think. It affects how you live. And don't be a dream killer. You see, George Bernard Shaw said, listen to this, dream of things that never were and ask, why not?
There's some people who just go through life mechanically. All right, they go to school, they get a degree, they come out, they apply for a bunch of jobs, and hey, this job said yes, so I guess I'll do this one. You know, they're in relationships and it's not perfect. In fact, it's not even good. It's bad. And, you know, they're thinking to themselves, well, hey, it's not great, it's not good, but, you know, at least I'm not alone, so I guess I'll stick around here anyway. You know, they never stop to ask themselves, what else is in me? And that's why I do it. That's why I ask that question. What else is in you?
It's not what it's going to be, but it's not what it used to be. Until you can clap for the seedling, you will never see the tree.
No more distractions. The older we get, the more we realize we're not going to be here forever. Life is flying by. When you realize how fast time is going, it should bring a sense of urgency, a sense of focus. Your assignment has an expiration date. Your time on this earth is not unlimited.
It's not the blowing of the wind that determines your fortune. It's the set of the sail. With a couple of little things about setting the sail of your thinking that might drastically give you multiplied more benefit the next 3 years than you've gotten in the last 2. So it's not what happens. What happens to everybody.
This is a time for you to look at your life, look at where you want to go, look at what you want to do. Let me warn you, don't look at where you are. Don't spend time talking about what has happened to you. Hold a vision of yourself being successful in the future with whatever you do. That's what you want to do, because your thoughts have magnetic power. Where focus goes, energy, persistence, and determination flows.
You still got work to do. Stay on that basketball court. Stay on that football field. Fuck all the homies texting and calling and trying to make you feel bad about being so focused. It's grind season, homie. It's not about today. It's about the future. You do the work now, and all of the shit that you could ever want to do for your family, your kids, your loved ones, it's all going to be on a whole nother stratosphere.
The trick is to make the decision, give it everything we've got, and stay with it until one of two things happen. One, you decide you've definitely made the right decision, or two, that you've made the wrong decision. If it's the second, you've just got to try again. But behind your decision, remind yourself that it's better to be outstanding at one thing than to be mediocre in a dozen or so.
Take a brave look at your life. Look at your life right now where it is. As you begin to look out on the future, look out on this year, let's take personal inventory. What has brought you here? As you begin to look at the things that took place this past year, did you get out of it what you wanted? Did you achieve the goals that you set out to achieve? Are there any people that might be some dead weight that you need to think about unloading?
We fight too many battles that don't matter. They're talking about me, I'm gonna go straighten them out. After you straighten them out, someone else will start talking. Nobody talks about people that aren't doing anything. Nobody tries to discredit someone that doesn't have any influence. The reason they're talking about you is because you're a difference maker. You're a world changer.
Successful people use no's as a reason to come back stronger, to hit harder, all right, and to be more creative. That's what they do with it. That's why they come back harder, because they've heard a bunch of no's. The people who admire, who you look up to, who you've heard about, a lot of these people have heard no's multiple times, and they've had to come back and reinvent themselves and discover new energy. That's the value of a no. It opens up more doors than yeses.
You have to find a dream that's so big that it overwhelms all of your fears and causes you to never give up. Now, you're going to think about quitting no matter what you do. I mean, I've thought about it many times, but I always dreamed of buying my mother and father a real house.
So the key is part-time. The magic and the attraction of part-time gives you a classic invitation for somebody to listen to what you're doing that's changing your life. And it's not just necessarily the money that changes your life. It's what you do with the money. It's the change of lifestyle.
So it's critical that you upgrade identity with your new visions and goals. You need to stop what's no longer needed. In other words, there were behaviors and thoughts you've had in the past that were needed to produce the results you currently have. But you need to stop what's no longer needed. Maybe you're continuing a behavior in your life that's no longer needed, or a worry that at one time was needed but no longer is.
You can live a larger life. Don't just focus on what's going on now. Don't focus on what you have lost. Don't focus on you've lost your job or been evicted or been foreclosed on. Focus on where you are going to a new life, that God is going to do a new thing with you. How? I don't know. How is none of your business. You do what you can do, God will do what you can't do.
Change the thoughts, beliefs, concepts, and value we hold to ourselves. I'm telling you, the overall key to changing the external conditions of your life is changing that internal thermostat setting. Just being aware that you need to alter the thermostat is a life-changing, liberating condition.
In what you've done with your life thus far, is it giving you what you want? When you look toward the future, when you look at all that's going on out here, is there some place within yourself you say, hey, I know I need to be out there in that arena. I know I can do more than what I've been doing. Is that something that you begin to look at within yourself?
Narrow is the gate, and broad is the way, but it leads to destruction. Small is the gate, and narrow is the way, but it leads to life. Don't focus on the narrow, narrow the focus.
What I discovered about focusing in on a goal, that the moment that you focus in on what you want to do, that's when you begin to have energy to do it. A distracted person lacks energy. And when they get to the thing they need to be focusing in on, they don't have the energy to give.
We need to face the fact that in the world of tomorrow, jobs as we know them today will be radically different or eliminated entirely. So then, what can we do about it? We can learn. If we refuse to learn, If we insist upon acting like machines, we will find ourselves idle tomorrow.
Learn to work with the people who deserve it, not the people who need it. You must be like life itself. Respond to deserve, not to need. It doesn't say if you need a harvest, you'll have a harvest. It's not what it says. It says if you plant, chances are good you'll have a harvest. If you plant, you will reap. Not if you need, you will reap.
There are people who won't help you because they know too much about you. And that vision they have of you, they can't see you doing better. They can't see you achieving and living a larger life. And that's okay. Don't try and convince them. That's a full-time job, convincing yourself. Somebody asked me, what's the most difficult thing that you've done? I said, the most difficult thing I've ever done, and it took me years to do it, was to believe that I could do it.
Regulating your sleep and your breakfast eating habits in particular can be a very effective way of regulating your mood and increasing your capacity to concentrate. Regulate your habits. Try to get up at approximately the same time each morning. Your circadian rhythms operate more fluidly and your mood is likely to be regulated better if there's islands of stability in your daily routines.